Hey friends, welcome to another edition of Big Al's Rockin' Podcast. I am here this week with Michael Jahnz. Did I pronounce it right? He just told me like
Yes, you
2 minutes
did.
ago, and I still thought I got it wrong. Anyway, he's here to talk about the Richrath Project REO, which has to do with an REO Speedwagon show, a tribute show rather, coming up here in Evansville on Friday, January 16th. So let's start out. Tell us about what's going on with that.
Well, the show is on January 16th. It's in Evansville. It's at the warehouse 410, and we're coming in town. We are playing with two other acts that night. There's going to be a Johnny Cash tribute, and then there is an Ozzy Osbourne tribute, Madman's Diary, I believe. It's kind of a weird combination, in my opinion, but I think it'll work. I mean, it's great. We've been on tour right now. We're actually down in Florida, in Gainesville, and I've been driving all day from Biloxi, Mississippi, and we stopped in Gainesville now and to do this podcast for you. And then we're heading down to Tampa to do some shows down there. So we're just on the road doing the REO Speedwagon. I worked with Gary Richrath from REO Speedwagon for many, many years, and um, from the late 80s when he left REO. And he formed a new group called the Richrath Band, which I was his front man and lead singer. And we did all the REO classics that Gary wrote. And we started working on a new album that we put out together in 92. And we'll be doing some of those songs in Evansville. I've played Evansville many times with Gary. And this is my first time back with the new band and the new lineup because after Gary passed away, the record company decided they wanted me to continue on. So we formed another band, and it was the Richrath Project 313. And we since then rebranded it to Richrath Project REO, doing all the classics and the legendary Gary Richrath songs. So, and just trying to give him credit is due for him because I think he kind of was fading away from everything, but I believe he was REO Speedwagon. So that's what we're doing. So that will be all the songs you're going to hear on January 16th.
So you're doing the show with you said the Johnny Cash tribute and the Ozzy tribute. Do each
Correct.
do all three bands have an equal amount of time on stage, or is it like a typical show?
I'm not 100% sure on that yet because the show was booked, I don't know, not so long ago. So we've been out on tour since the end of December, and they offered us the show, and I think we're coming in either early that day or we're leaving early that night. So I'm not sure the lineup or everything, but I'm sure we're doing about an hour set, maybe 90 minutes. That's what we usually do. And I have no idea how long the other bands are playing for, but we usually do a 90-minute plus an encore. So, and like I said again, all the songs that we do are all the top classic hits of REO Speedwagon, and we throw in a couple new ones that we wrote. So,
Right on. How long is this tour supposed to last?
well, it just started at the end of December, so we're going back to the Midwest where our location is in Wisconsin. And that will be at the February 1st, I believe. We'll be back in February. We're off for a couple of weeks, and then we head out again doing some Midwest shows. And in March, we're probably going to be going to the West Coast, and it'll be lasting for the whole year. We have festivals in Illinois. We have festivals, I think, back in Indiana. Excuse me. There's all the way through November. So this whole tour it's going to be a 2026 tour. So if you check out our website at richrathrocks.com, you'll be able to check all the dates and everything that's coming up. You can check out our Facebook page, and our Facebook page is the Richrath Rocks, and it's Richrath Rocks REO, and then you can see all of our tour dates on there. And like us on Facebook because a lot of people are communicating because we're playing all the old rock and roll stuff the way Gary liked it, and it's like real rock and roll. There's no tracking, there's no nothing. It's just all rock and roll music the way Gary wanted it. So I think everybody will be very pleased with it. We're getting nothing but great reviews.
Right on. So, as someone who is working with someone or who was working with someone in REO Speedwagon, what is it like now to be doing a tribute band as opposed to being in an REO adjacent act with a former member of the band?
Well, it's kind of different because I worked with Gary for so long, and we wrote songs together, and so it's not really a tribute, but I guess you could call it a tribute. It's basically the same format as we did with Gary, and we have a guy, Dennis Pockets, who's playing guitar, who grew up, just listening to Gary play all the time, everywhere he could, and emulating him to a T. I mean, if you see some of our videos, we shot a really nice video last night in Biloxi, Mississippi. It's all over YouTube and Facebook and everything. You can kind of get a sample of what he sounds like. He sounds like Gary Richrath, a younger version of Gary Richrath, and that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with the guy, the way he plays. He plays so much like Gary. It's amazing. And he loved Gary. He thought Gary was the thing. And like I said, we play the stuff that Gary did originally. We do all those old songs like Golden Country, Take It on the Run, Like You Do. We do some of the songs off our Only the Strong Survive album, which were songs prior to that. We do, everything you can imagine from the early days of REO, from like early 70s through the peak of the time. So it's like from early 70s to the 81 period where they did all the hits. And it's amazing when you see the stuff or check the videos out, you'll see for yourself.
Right on. This project that you've got used to be called Project 313, correct?
Correct.
And what is the significance of the 313? Because I noticed on one of your album covers it looks like a clock.
Well, Gary and I had this thing with the number 313, and when it started with me and him, and we used to stay up awful late in the studio. And when he started working with me, he really wanted me just to grind it in the studio all night long. So he'd just tell me sing, sing, sing. I mean, he created the kind of the same stuff he did for Kevin, he did to me. When the digital clock hit 313, it was time to stop. So it was kind of a joke, but then we started seeing it all over the place. You see 313 here, 313 there. So people that are fans of ours, and I'm telling you, people travel from all over the country to come see us now. It's our fan base is growing and growing and growing. And I think it has a lot to do with REO not playing anymore and not touring, and they kind of disbanded. We fit into a nice sleeve there it's perfect for us. So these people, they want to hear the stories. Like I got tons and tons of stories, and it's interesting to hear this stuff. And then the 313 is just the icing on the top of everything, and people love it. And then they go home and they start Facebooking us and message, hey, we just saw 313, and they send us pictures. And we always have a 313 day in March, and it's a fun thing, and people love it, and they love the music, and they love the stories, and we have it's just like one big happy family. So that's where it all started, and it's not going to end anytime soon. So, I might even have a 313 in Evansville.
Well, that is a very cool story, and it kind of reminds me, my wife's birthday is August 13th, so like every time we look at the clock, it's 8:13 or whatever,
Okay, there you go.
Or something will come up and it'll say 813, so we always throw a similar joke out like that. That's
yes, and people in the 313. Now that you talked with me about it, you will see it. I guarantee it. It'll come up somewhere.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned a second ago about REO Speedwagon disbanding, and there kind of being a space there. When Kevin left or broke up, whatever the rendition of REO Speedwagon was last year, the year before, did that have any effect on your project?
Yes, it did. We started filling, especially after the first of the year, we started, filling in more shows. And again, there hasn't been the greatest, I don't know how to say it. We haven't had the greatest relationship with all the guys and me ever since I was Gary's lead singer. I do a pretty damn good job singing. If I can say damn, it's okay. And he picked me, and he worked with me till 3:13 in the morning. So I got a lot of hours on the clock doing this, and I know the REO songs better than most. I can sing them better than most, and that's one of the things that my voice is still very, very strong. And it's all real. So I mean, there's no fakeness going on. And that tends to have people that can't really sing anymore have problems. So, and
Yeah,
I just think there's been a lot of animosity.
yeah, that's one of the things, as we get older, I think that's one of the sad things that us as fans hate to see our idols lose their voices or lose their abilities. And I feel bad for them because, I'm just a cover band musician and I play weekends here and there.
Sure.
And, it's still fun for me, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine doing this for a living for 30, 40, 50 years. And then suddenly, I can't sing anymore, but I've got all these tours booked and can't really cancel them and just got to struggle through it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, we got into our coach, and we have a trailer and a truck, and we all guys travel together. We're back out on the road again, and it's one of the songs we play by Bruce, and it's just a shame. Gary, I was a really good friends with Gary for many years, and it's just a shame what happened. And Gary told me several times that he felt like at the end was going to be the self-destruction, and it seems like that's what it is. And I tend to, I don't want to get involved with it because I just want to play the music, and it's like that's one of the things I think the fans want to hear. There's too much drama, too much drama,
Yeah.
and when it comes down to it, Gary didn't. Gary wanted to be a rock and roll guitarist. That's all he wanted to do, and that's what he did. And unfortunately, his life ended early, and I'm very sad about that. But it has a lot to do, in my opinion, with that whole band thing. I mean, they really he got put into a little bad thing, as I
Right.
can say. It wasn't good. It wasn't making
Right.
him happy. That's all.
Right. I
And
understand that.
yeah.
Um, Speaking of high country and back on the road, I'm a co-owner of an internet radio station, A to Z Radio, and those are two of the most popular REO Speedwagon songs that we get asked to play. So,
Oh, well,
yeah.
great. I mean, if your fans want to hear them, we play them exactly like the live album. So you will not be disappointed. And like I said again, we have emulated the Get What You Play For album and all the live stuff. I think they're the Decade 2 live. So we do stuff like the live REO did back in the day. And like I said, there is no tracking, there is no nothing. It's all real rock and roll music, which is another thing with we're talking about the older guys that go out and they can't do much anymore because they can't do it like they used to, which I feel bad for them too,
Hmm.
in all bands, not just them. But it's like what I think is that there's so much missing with that raw rock sound that's not there anymore. A lot of the people that go see some of these concerts, and there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that nobody really hears rock and roll music anymore. Because they don't have to. It's
Yeah.
easy to have it simulated.
So, I've got a couple of questions from some friends of mine and co-owners of the A to Z radio station. So we'll start with Lil Willie. Bill Elam asks, what do you encounter more, the diehards that listen to the pre-high infidelity era, the latter day 80s fans, or listeners who are barely aware of REO's career?
You know what? It's all over the board because we get when you start doing "Son of a Poor Man," like we play "Son of a Poor Man" and "Summer Love," people just go crazy over it. The fewer people in the audience that know those songs, but the hits, everybody loves the hits. Like I said, we do "Can't Fight This Feeling" and "Keep on Loving You." And those are Kevin's songs, and I love to sing them. I mean that they're great songs. And it's funny because I mean, like I sing those songs that people love to sing along with them. They come out and dance. They do whatever they got to do. It's great. "Time for Me to Fly" is another one. We played that last night, and people just went crazy over that. But then we play festivals, and the kids are coming out and enjoying the music because their parents listen to it. I mean, I got 18 and 20-year-old kids that said, my parents made me listen to this like crazy before they came to the concert, and they know the words. It's great. It's really nice. It's a wonderful thing. So the generations are they're falling into it. So, I mean, good music is good music. And they both, between, Kevin and Gary, they both wrote great songs. And you can't take that away from them. But it's all the other stuff that's the problem. But So my deal is I'm just trying to portray the right thing for everybody and do it the best I can. And if people have problems with that, then that's too bad because I'm just going to do my best every time I sing. So
Well, really, that's all you can do because you know the internet as well. You know people in general. You know people are going to say what they're going to say, and they don't care whether they piss you off or not.
well, yeah, we have that once in a while. There's some people that want to be kind of cruel, and it's like I've heard some bad ones, but majority of the people really love what we're doing, and that's why the thing, like I said before, the fan base is growing like crazy because once they come out and talk or they see us and they hear what I'm doing, it's not like it's not like the tribute bands or whatever you want to call it. We actually use the music of REO Speedwagon because it's more meaningful to me that way, and I think the people mean it because I'm not trying to be Kevin Cronin or I'm not trying to be somebody else. We're just doing stuff what we love to do that we grew up listening to. So I don't do that all that stuff. I see some of these bands that are just dressing up like these bands, and it's silly to me. I'm not into that. I have a whole we have 3 albums out on our own, so I mean we have a lot of material. And the last album we put out, "LA Is Mine," had Gary's guitar on there. We used Pro Tools and we played along with Gary's guitars and his songs that we put on there. And one of the songs that we will be playing in Evansville is "Help Me Save Me From Myself," and it's a song that Gary wrote, and he wanted me to sing it because I could sing it a lot more with feeling and power for him. And it's about him, at the end of his thing. So. And it's on our "LA Is Mine" album. If you hear it, it's a really good song. Really good song. We put a video out on it too. It's a really nice video.
Very cool. Speedway Jeff would like to know, is there one REO Speedwagon song that you really only play because the fans expect it? I think what he's really asking is there a song that you hate, but
Yeah. No, I don't hate them all, but I can tell you sometimes I don't know. "Keep on Loving You" is more of a is it's one of those songs that everybody knows and recognizes, and it's like I've gotten criticism saying, "Why do you play that song and stuff?" Because everybody knows it, blah 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 blah. And it's like because it's a good song. I mean, again, it's a good song, and it doesn't matter, who wrote it or who didn't write it or whatever. Gary played his heart out on all those songs, and one of Gary's when he told me when "Can't Fight This Feeling" is another one. I love singing "Can't Fight This Feeling," and Gary actually told me one night that he put his heart and soul in making that lead in that song. He just followed the vocal lines, and it was amazing. It was just an amazing song. So, I mean, those are songs that you don't want to do all the time because they're kind of down. They kind of make you go down, but then the people love them. So it's all over the board. And here's me. I'm like the quarterback that calls the plays, and if I feel it's going one way or the other, I'll change it up. And that's why I don't think any set is going to be the same. But you will get 90 minutes plus an encore, that's for sure. Because we have over 2.5 hours worth of music, but sometimes you just don't do it.
yeah,
And it's the way it works.
there you go. Chuck from the band 8 Ball wants to know what advice would you give to somebody wanting to get into a musical career in this day and age?
Well, I kind of like I have to have other people help with the because I'm still stuck in the 80s. So all the stuff that goes on with streaming and all the other stuff and the internet stuff, I have to have people help me with that. But I still love the 3-chord progression songs. So you got melodies in them and you sing your heart out and then you get somebody that our drummer that's playing with us. Patty Cake is our brand new drummer. This is his 5th show that he did last night with us, and he's a monster drummer. And Antonio rips on the bass, and like I told you, Dennis is just an amazing guitarist. And I've been the keyboard player I've been with many years, probably 25, 30 years. So it's not like I just started doing all this stuff. I've been doing it since the 80s, and I came from a different progressive rock with Rush and Yes and stuff like that. And when Gary met me, he said, "You gotta come with me, and I'll teach you how to sing." So that's basically what it was. And I started doing more of the more popish kind of stuff, and he taught me a lot. So, and it's just all different.
Right on. Before we close this out, is there anything else you would like to bring up?
No, I just hope we can get the place packed out there because I haven't been in Evansville in a long time since Gary was alive, and we played Evansville all the times. I think one of the places I remember is Funky's Two. I think that's the name of that place.
That place is
Do you know
long
that
gone.
place?
That place is long
I
gone.
know. I heard it was long gone, but I'm just saying. I remember playing there, and people still have flyers from there that they send us pictures of it on our Facebook page, and I'm just like, wow.
That
I
is
barely
crazy.
remember, but now I remember it because of the people sending the flyers out. But yeah, we used to stop in Evansville quite a bit. You
Yeah,
know.
Evansville is always kind of, well, it used to always be kind of a cool place because you're between St. Louis, Louisville, Indianapolis, and Nashville. So,
Yeah.
no matter which direction you're going, it's a good stop for, one of my friends used to always call Evansville the gas station stop for all of these bands. But
Yeah.
yeah, we used to have some great bands come through.
Well, like I said, I never had a bad time there. So, and I can always say that it was always awesome every time we played there.
Right on. Well, tell
So
my
I'm looking forward to
listeners,
it.
yeah, tell my listeners once again where they can find you online.
We can find us online at richrathrocks.com and Facebook. It's Richrath Project REO, and you can find us and like us and talk to us and send messages. We have people looking at the Facebook and the website constantly. There's videos on the website. You can go on our YouTube channel too. We have a YouTube channel, and we have a it's not brand new, but our CD was out about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I believe. I'm not even sure. That's the newest one we have out, and then we had a couple other ones prior to that, and then we have the Only the Strong Survive CD that I put out with Gary. So, and we are playing songs from everything. And check us out online, and check us out on streaming or whatever else you can do, and it'll be a great time.
All right, Michael, thank you for your time, and I will catch you soon.
Okay, thank you, Al. It's Big Al, right?
That's right. Peace out. Thanks for listening to Big Al's Rockin' Podcast. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe on your preferred podcast outlet. Visit BigAlRocks.com to find past episodes, on-demand links to my radio show, links to my social media, and other Big Al shenanigans. Most importantly, please like and share this episode. Peace out.